It's time to get weird, everybody, because Jester's Festival is coming to Tamriel. Hey everyone, it's Spopes. Jester's Festival is coming from March 25th to April 2nd, and it marks the first event in the history of ESO to feature trade bars and the Gold Coast Bazaar. In this video, I'm going to run through all the activities you can do during Jester's Festival and the rewards you can earn from doing them. I'm going to cover both the returning rewards and the brand new ones, including an excellent armor style and a mount that looks suspiciously like a reskin. Before we dive in though, please make sure you've subscribed to the channel, please like and hype the video, and consider supporting me and getting access to some exclusive content by joining the Spopes Army. You can also support me by checking out the merch below the video and on my Fourth Wall page. And keep in mind you can leave donations on Fourth Wall and also right here on YouTube in the form of super thanks. I'd also like your attention for just a minute while we hear from today's sponsor, Sacred Geometrix. Sacred Geometrix is my favorite apparel brand of all time. I've never come across a more distinctive style, and it fits my vibe perfectly. From the extra-large cowl hoods on the hoodies to the playful use of patterns and color in every piece, there's simply nothing else out there like Sacred Geometrix. Every piece of apparel is 100% organic, customizable, and handmade in the USA. The unique designs capture the natural power of sacred geometry and get you in touch with the divine symmetries of creation. Every Sacred Geometrix order comes with a lifetime guarantee. If there's ever a problem with your apparel, just send it into the shop to get it fixed up free of charge. I've been wearing Sacred Geometrix in my videos for a while now, and I'm excited to announce you can now save on your first purchase. Just use the link in the video description to automatically apply 15% off to your order, or use the code SPOPES15 at checkout. Discounts like this are really rare, but we've been able to work out a special deal. Head over to sacredgeometrix.com now to look as good in the real world as you do in your favorite video game. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let's dive into the guide. As far as ESO events go, Jester's Festival is relatively simple and low-key. It only lasts a week, and you can only get event boxes by doing daily quests that are specific to the event. But it's a great opportunity to get recipes and furnishings that are only available during Jester's Festival, and there's some new drip this year that might pique your fancy. We'll start by covering the basic facts. Jester's Festival is a one-week event that occurs every year in the Elder Scrolls Online. This year, it starts on March 25th and continues on till April 2nd. This relatively brief time frame does make it one of the shortest events throughout the year, but I always think of it as sort of a precursor to the Anniversary Jubilee, which usually starts immediately thereafter and is one of the best events in the game. To get started, head over to an event pavilion located in the capital cities of the Alliances. If you need some help getting there, go to the Crown Store and pick up the Jester's Festival Invitation quest. Once you finish the quest, you will get a pie of Misrule memento, and you may remember that in previous years you had to actually use this memento to get the 100% XP buff, but now that is a passive buff. So throughout the week, as you do activities, you will get twice the XP, meaning that if you are currently leveling a brand new Dragon Knight, this is the perfect time to do so. One of the things I personally find to be kind of disappointing about Jester's Festival is you can only get the boxes from the events by doing the daily quests associated with the event. The boxes are called Jester's Festival boxes, and the first one you get every day is called a Stupendous Jester's Festival box. The introductory quest for the event does count, and you will get a Stupendous box from that. And from there are these 7 different quests you can do every day on each character that are sort of fun and sort of silly and have you running around doing silly things. If you want to fully max out the event, you can do all 7 of these on every single one of your 20 characters. But personally, once I get my Stupendous box for the day, I'm pretty much done with this event, because after you've done them a few times, the event quests are kind of boring and tedious. But if this is your first time, you might want to run through each of the 7 just to get the full experience. After you do your first quest and get your Stupendous Jester's Festival box, all subsequent rewards will just be plain old Jester's Festival boxes. And just the plain boxes can contain a variety of goodies, including Festive Dazzlers, Cherry Blossom Confetti, Revelry Pies, furnishings you can only get during Jester's Festival, provisioning recipes you can only get during Jester's Festival. We'll touch on that a little bit more in a moment. And then additional decorations, including the Jester's Festival flyer, a sad Jester's mask, a happy Jester's mask, the Jester's garland, and a shorter version of the garland. You'll also be able to get treasures you can then sell for gold to vendors, and style pages from previous years of the festival. You might also find a style page for either the broom or the bucket styles that you can then sell in guild traders or give to your friends if you already have it. And the style pages from previous events you can get are Regal Regalia, Second Seed, Jester's Seeker Suit, and the Alliance Mimicry style. These are unbound, you can sell them, hoard them, or give them to your buddies. You can also get fragments of Jester's Festival specific collectibles from previous years, including the Cadwell's Surprise Box, the Sovereign Sow Pet, the Playful Prankster's Surprise Box, and the Jester's Daedrith Suit. For your first box of the day, the Stupendous Jester's Festival box, you can also get some additional stuff. First of all, you have a chance of getting a page from the One Bad Night outfit style. This is brand new this year in Jester's Festival. I've already seen some people praising the traditional battered knight look of this armor style. I don't know if it's really for me, but it's pretty cool. You'll also be able to get the first fragment of the new morphing collectible, the Thorn's Bite Withersteed. Now, this was announced recently in the forums, but this is new and very interesting. You've never had pieces of the morphing collectibles drop from the actual boxes from events before. Previously, you've always needed to hoard event tickets and then buy them. This is a small but significant change where these morphing collectibles should now be easier to get, at least theoretically. I'm interested to see how this plays out and what the drop rate actually is, but at least theoretically, it should be easier to get morphing collectibles from now on. So if you've already gotten the Blooming Saddle, the first piece of the Thorn's Bite Withersteed, you'll get a One Bad Night style page instead. But let's talk about the Thorn's Bite Withersteed for a minute. When I first saw this, when the article came out today, I did a bit of a double take, and honestly, I am still pretty disappointed with Zoss for putting this out there. If this mount looks familiar to you, that's for a good reason. So the Azure Blight Wild Hunt Steed has been available for Seals of Endeavor periodically in the store for years now. And if you look at them side by side, these two mounts are essentially identical. Maybe I shouldn't have expected better, but I'm honestly pretty bummed out that Zoss did this to us. With these mounts that you get from events, I'm used to expecting something at least somewhat original. But not only is this a reskin of the Azure Blight Steed, but even that mount was just a reskin of the Wild Hunt Horse, a Apex mount reward from the Wild Hunt crates. So I really don't know what to think here. This seems like a very cheap and cynical move on behalf of Zoss. A reskin of a reskinned mount. Like, wow, okay. So I'm not really enthusiastic about getting this. At least it's a different color, but yeah, they could have done better here. This is disappointing. I know it's a small thing, but I feel like we should hold them to account, put their feet to the fire for this a little bit. At least this means I'll be able to save my trade bars for something I actually want instead of wasting them on a reskin of a reskinned mount. But anyway, moving on. Some other items you can get from your Stupendous Jester's Festival box include the Jester's Scintillator Room Box, the Cherry Blossom Branch Room Box, which in my opinion is pretty much the goated drop from this festival, a style page from the Cadwell's Kitchen Weapons style. Okay, go Cadwell, whatever. Treasures you can sell to vendors, festive noisemaker parts, and joke popper parts. So personally, what I'm looking forward to the most is the One Bad Night style, and I'm not even really looking forward to that very much, so oh well. The extra XP and the trade bars will be worth it, and this is a fun break in the monotony of normal ESO play throughout the year. Before we end the rewards section, I did want to mention one of the best provisioning recipes you can get from the event, and that's Jewels of Misrule. It's easy to make, the ingredients are simple, but the buffs are excellent. You get increased max health and increased stamina and magicka recovery. This costs a pretty penny outside of the festival, so it's worth grinding the event to get this recipe if you don't have it, or to get it to sell if you do already have it. All right, and now what's most exciting to me overall about this event is that it's the first one we're going to have trade bars and the Gold Coast Bazaar. Instead of earning event tickets, you will now get trade bars during Jester's Festival. And if you already have event tickets, don't worry, they're going to be automatically converted. You're losing nothing, guys. The game is just getting better, which I've now said for the 10 millionth time. And also the Gold Coast Bazaar launches on March 25th, the same day that Jester's Festival begins. Now, I think on launch day, you'll be able to get the Jester's Festival items through the Gold Coast Bazaar, but there are going to be a bunch of other items available as well. Check out my Gold Coast Bazaar video linked above to learn everything you can get the day this new system launches. The amount of event currency you can get during this event is the same as it's always been. Instead of getting 3 event tickets per day, you will get 300 trade bars when you complete your first Jester's Festival quest every day throughout the event. By the end of the event, that means you'll be able to get 2,400 trade bars, and we don't know how much that is really worth yet, but it sounds like a lot. What you can get with those trade bars, and it's sounding like from the Impresario, I guess the Impresario is still going to be around, include the Sanguine Bat. They're just calling it the Sanguine Bat here, but it's called something else. Yeah, it's actually called the Roseblood Bat, and it's one of my favorite pets in the game. This is definitely worth it in my opinion. Why they called it the wrong thing? Well, I mean, that's just kind of par for the course of these articles from Zos. Anyway, the Sanguine Bat will be available from the Impresario, and we're finally going to be able to get all 3 fragments of the Roseblood Wings recall. These 2 were already available in previous events, but now the 3rd piece, Sanguine's Goodbye Kiss, will be available, which means you'll be able to finish off that recall. Just from the imagery we've seen so far, this recall does look pretty cool. It is a must-have for any vampire character, that's for sure. So I will definitely be picking up the last piece of the Roseblood Wings recall as soon as the event starts. You'll also be able to get all the pieces of the One Bad Night outfit with trade bars from the Impresario in case you're missing any and want to fill out the set. As I mentioned, this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to everything you'll be able to get through the Gold Coast Bazaar. There are evergreen items that seem like they'll be available indefinitely, and you'll also be able to get items that are specific to events and seasons that will change on a periodic basis. So yeah, switching to trade bars, ushering in the Gold Coast Bazaar, these are both really exciting things for me, much more exciting than the event itself. I can't wait to check out this new system as soon as Jester's Festival begins on the 25th. You'll also be able to use your trade bars at the Impresario's assistant to get fragments from previous years, including the Unstable Morpholith, the Doomchar Plateau, the Soulfire Dragon Illusion, the Sacred Hourglass of Alkosh, the Passion Dancer Blossom. They say it's a poet here, but I've never heard it spewing out poetry. It is a pet. And the Jester's Daedrith Suit. And keep in mind that you no longer lose the base item when you morph it into something. So say you have the Unstable Morpholith, you want to get the Doomchar Plateau house that it morphs into. You can go ahead and do that once you have all 5 pieces of the Doomchar Plateau, and you will still have your Unstable Morpholith. All right, we're almost done here, but let's talk about what you can get from the Indrik vendor in Belkarth. First of all, you'll need a Nascent Indrik if you want to make any of the other ones. You can get the pieces of that, which you can get during every event. And then the 2 Indriks that are available this quarter are the Dawnwood Indrik and the Spectral Indrik, along with their matching pets. As I've mentioned in previous event guides, I am not too fond of the Dawnwood Indrik. It's just kind of meh to me, but the Spectral Indrik is amazing. I have coveted it for years. Instead of getting the reskin of the reskinned mounts, I will be getting the Spectral Indrik instead. All right, and that does it for when the event starts, how to get the boxes, what you can get from the boxes, what you can get for trade bars, and even the Indriks. But sometimes, and not to be rude, I mean, okay, I'll be rude. The people who write these articles just do often a really bad job. So I always make sure to check out the tooltip in the game to make sure nothing was left out. If you don't know this already, you get there by going to Help, Tutorials, and then Events. We'll go down to Jester's Festival, and here we go. So yep, you get your 100% XP bonus. Here are the different quests you can do, and you get 1 Stupendous box per day. So yeah, nothing else has been added here. Like I said before, it's a pretty simple event. There's not a lot going on. It doesn't last very long. There's not really too much to know. So that'll do it. Please let me know if you have any questions about Jester's Festival in the comments. Please let me know what you're most excited for in the event. I'm sorry to say that for me, nothing in the event itself is very exciting. It's just the fact that we're getting trade bars and the Gold Coast Bazaar. And I guess I'm pretty stoked for that recall as well, but I'm honestly pretty disgusted by the reskin of the reskinned mounts. They really could have done better here, just taking something from one of the very first crates, then reskinning it, giving it away for Seals of Endeavor, and then reskinning it again for an event. I mean, that's just lazy. You guys can do better. Right when I'm on the cusp of praising y'all at Zos for doing better, you have to do us dirty like that. Boycott this stupid reskin mount, or I mean, if you really want it, I probably will at least try not to judge you, but yeah, it's dumb. But do let me know what you're most excited for in the comments. If there's anything I didn't explain clearly, let me know. And let me know what you think about my drip. I've heard everything from I look like a Dragon Ball Z character to stop raiding your sister's closet. But I'm going to keep looking like myself. And if you want to look like me too, check out Sacred Geometrix. That's sacredgeometrix.com. Use the code SPOPES15 at checkout to save 15%. All right, everyone. As always, let's finish up with a prayer. Lord, thank you for all the dynamic events throughout the year in ESO that break up the monotony of the game, bring players back, help us do something different and fun for a week or two. Lord, thank you for the new rewards this year. And Lord, I ask you to instill a spirit of integrity in the developers at ZOS, that you help them feel adequate shame for simply reskinning a mount and calling it new, and that in future events you inspire the developers to produce actually new and beautiful art for us to collect, not just reskins of reskins. I ask that you do be with everyone at ZOS, that you bless them in their endeavors, and you also bless everyone in my community. Lord, I give you all glory for the video and my channel, and I thank you for my community. Please continue helping it to grow, and please help anyone in my community who's struggling to follow the path of Jesus make their path easy and their burden light. Also, Lord, guide all those who are recently departed to your side. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. I really do appreciate you watching, everybody. Please do leave your comments below. I could really use your support. Please do join the Spopes Army. Check out my merch. Leave a donation. Also, please do like and hype the video and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, turn on notifications because I'll be back soon with new content.